Robert Mugabe and all of his men. How are we doing, everyone? Not everyone, just Patreons. No, just $4 Patreons. How you all doing? Good to speak to you. Sorry, just seeing if there was anything embarrassing along the side there, and there isn't, far from it. Anyway, I'm going to give you a little bit of a treat in the form of a story. A story which the really, really loyal fans among you might remember I hinted at in this video released on March the 29th, 2018. A long time ago when the channel was quite small, probably about 10,000 subscribers, and I used to play these types of things. European Union, no map zooming. A little bit different in terms of how I used to name the videos and how I used to narrate them, but the fundamentals are very much the same. Anyway, this isn't important. I said this in this video. Let's get to the point. Some of you may remember this. Or do I? Is this Split in Croatia? I think this could be Split, which I've also been to. I've got a couple of stories about that too. I don't want to tell you them. Maybe another time. So here we are. Here's another time. And I'm going to tell you this story. It's not the best story in the world. It mainly revolves, or at least is the byproduct of me getting very drunk when I was traveling Europe when I was 23. And I was stupid, and I used to get pissed up with people I'd never met before, I'd only just met, and used to wake up in stupid places. And this is that sort of story. One of the more extreme ones I have. Okay, so I'm going to take you to where it started, which is just down the coast. By the way, I'll talk about this more at the end, but I will be leaving for Wales Attempt 3 on, well, soon, in the next week or so. I'm not going to tell you exactly when or exactly where it is in case something leaks, classified information. But yeah, that is on the horizon, so I thought I'd give you something while you wait for all that bonus footage. Right, now, we were staying in a campsite. Oh, I don't know exactly where it is. Let me find it, actually. Okay, here it is. Here's the campsite I was staying. So about 10 miles east. They'll never find me. They'll never find me, guys. Yeah, camping Stobrecht. So here I was, staying here with a collection of people, young people, travellers that I'd met, mostly in Zagreb. So I'd met a guy called Jacob, really funny guy who does music, he does hip hop, and his girlfriend Rafaela. And then I was also with two French lads, one called Mehdi and one called Artur. They were both 18. Sadly, Artur passed away in his early 20s in a tragic balcony accident in Chile. He fell off a balcony at a party and died. But I only met him for 2 or 3 days, so that is absolutely tragic, I know. But he was sure as hell living it up when I met him, 18 years old. And there was 5 of us, and we were like, right, let's go to Split and go to a party, get pissed, have a great time. Everyone was nice, full of, you know how it is when you go travelling. Everyone's in a good mood. So we pre-drank here on the beach, and then we got the bus into Split. Now, by the time we got to Split, we were quite intoxicated. I think there was a nightclub somewhere down here. Was it Taboo Beach Club? I think we went there. And so, yeah, by the time we left there, we were very drunk. By the way, I'm not proud of these drunken antics. Not condoning binge drinking or doing anything as stupid as what I used to do. It's just where I was in my life. I was just a bit loose, basically. Anyway, we ended up down here, and we can use the street view, hopefully, to narrate this story. I hope this doesn't disappoint you, this story. Anyway, down here somewhere, as soon as we rocked up, we noticed that there was a roaring party. It was like, when I say party, it was down here, actually. Yeah, it was just on this corner here. This whole area was basically like an outdoor nightclub, a huge outdoor dance floor. Everyone dancing. That was probably where the dance floor was. You had to kind of, you got searched when you got in, when you went in. There was drinks to buy. Or was there? And I think this might be the problem. I don't know if you could buy drinks there. But anyway, everyone was raving, having a good time, and we were pretty pissed. Then, and I think this is the key moment in the night, one of us, it may have been me, I don't really remember, but one of us found a flask on the floor, a hip flask, with alcohol in it. We smelt it, we were like, oh, yeah, that's alcohol, pretty strong alcohol. It smelt, well, it tasted, because we immediately started passing it around, me, the two French lads, and Jacob. It tasted of whiskey and coke. Quite strong whiskey and coke. That's what it tasted of. Anyway, we had a few sips each. I mean, obviously, there wasn't that much to go around because it was just in a little hip flask, but we were knocking that back, passing it around, and I don't remember much after that. That's where it just went black. It went black. That's the only way I can describe it. I think I remember walking off and leaving the others, but I don't remember a thing after that. So let's cut to the moment that I do remember, which is when I woke up in the morning on a bench somewhere along here. I couldn't possibly tell you which one it was. Let's say it was this one. It might be, for all I know. So I wake up on this bench, sort of lay down with my legs, I don't know what exactly position I was in, curled up in a ball maybe, and there was a man sat next to me, about 45 years old, maybe 50, very short hair, almost, pretty shaven head actually, like a skinhead. And I think this is the reason that I woke up. His hand was on my leg, running it slowly from the knee up to the crotch area. And I like to think that I woke up immediately when he started to do that. That's the story I'm going with here. He sat down next to me, started doing that, tried his luck, see if I was responsive, and I woke up and I said, no, because obviously he's not going to probably speak my language, so I was like, no, and I walked off, quite taken aback, but still very drunk, because I'd probably only had 2 or 3 hours sleep at this point. So yeah, that's the story I'm going with, that I woke up instantly when he started. No, come on. No, that's what happened. Anyway, story's not quite over. I walked off in this direction, in towards the old town, and immediately realised that I was absolutely fucked still. So I needed to sleep some more. And also, when I was there, you can probably check the records, the temperature was 40 degrees in the middle of the day. I think it got to 42 or 41 while I was there for 2 or 3 days in a row. This was 2013, around August time, so you can check the records. Anyway, it was bloody hot, and I was knackered, and I was still pissed, and I wanted to get more sleep. So, in my drunken mess of a state, I strolled into the old town with its tall, sort of narrow alleyways and white stone buildings to see if I could find a little nook or cranny to get my head down. Okay? Now, I haven't done this before, but I'm going to try and find the place where I next lay my head. This might take a minute, so I might just skip it on. There it is. Oh my God. Do you know what's amazing about this? Okay, let's just zoom out a second. I had no idea what I was doing at the time. I was obviously trying to just get into the most higgledy-piggledy little alleyway, trying to seek refuge, trying to find a place no one would find me in this old town, this touristy, packed with tourists old town. So stupid. But this is what I came across. I had no idea what it was at the time, but it's Jupiter's Temple, 3rd century Roman temple of Jupiter. What? I was such a shit tourist. I didn't even know there was Roman shit in Split. That's how hell-bent on getting pissed I was. That's how much I prioritized getting fucked up. I don't know. Anyway, so here it is. I mean, in my defense, I did used to love exploring the old towns when I was pissed. But here we go. I sought refuge, or seeked refuge, or however it is you say it, under this, in the shade, because as I said, it was incredibly hot. Even at, I think it was about 8 a.m., 7 a.m., something like that. I didn't actually know what time it was, but it was bloody hot, even at that time. And I crawled underneath there to get some shade and to sleep. And I would say I had about, I don't know, it could have been anything from 15 minutes to 45 minutes. I don't think it was any longer than that. But I was woken up by none other than a nun. A nun. To see if I was alive, most probably. To check that I was okay and not dead. Because that is a... Is that even stable? I mean, probably it's been there for nearly 2,000 years. But a nun woke me up. A concerned nun spoke to me in Croatian. And just made sure I was all right, and I just got the hint. I didn't roll over and go, leave me alone, I'm sleeping. I think she was trying to get at, you can't sleep here, mate. Come on, you can't sleep there. I think it was half that and half, are you okay? So I was like, oh yeah, I'm okay, thank you. And then I sort of emerged and walked off. Absolutely ridiculous. And then, story's still not over. I hope this is quenching your thirst for stupid stories. So a nun, was she a Roman pagan nun? Probably not. I think she was just a regular Catholic nun. Quite old, by the way. I know what some of you are thinking. Was she attractive? No, she was old, about 65 probably. Kind of haggard old woman. Very embarrassing, really, looking back. Anyway, I then made my way to the bus station, which took me fucking ages. I remember that taking ages because I was still pissed, and you can't find anything when you're pissed. Got in the bus, managed to get the right bus, and I ended up back at the campsite where I believe I tried to find the others, couldn't find them for a while, so I fell asleep in, my tent. Anyway, later that day, I found Jake. And he was like, oh man, where were you? We were worried about you. And I told him my story, and he pissed himself laughing. And then he said, mate, there must have been something in that drink, man, because you're not the only one who ended up in a ridiculous place. The two French lads, who, I cannot stress this enough, were quiet, sensible, intelligent, lovely young guys who just would never do anything untoward, weren't cocky. They were very nice, reserved young guys. And I think this was the first time they'd ever gone travelling. Probably one of the first times they'd ever got drunk, actually. Now, for some reason, they must have got split up. As we all did, clearly. All four of us got split up. Arthur did end up on the correct bus home. Or maybe he walked home. Either way, he ended up at the campsite. And in a drunken rage, like the Incredible Hulk, snapped off the barrier that allows the cars into the campsite, yellow and black or red and white barrier, the pole, just snapped it off and then staggered onward into the campsite, got caught and had to pay a €250 fine or the equivalent. So that's what happened to him. Mehdi obviously got the wrong bus and ended up miles away. He ended up about 40 miles away. I don't know where it was. I have no idea. It might have been down towards Dubrovnik where he ended up. Or Mostar. I think it might have been Mostar. Anyway, you can imagine his shock when he woke up miles away and someone would have explained to him just how far Split was away. And then he had to make his way back. Didn't see him till the evening. But yeah, that's my ridiculous story. I don't know what was in that legendary trinket flask of alcohol. I'm pretty sure it was spiked, but if not, maybe it was absinthe in there. Some pretty strong absinthe with Coke that can do some pretty nasty things, some pretty mental things to you. But yeah, that is the story. And from then, I called it a day in Split and headed over to Italy, Ancona, I believe the ferry went to, and headed on up towards Venice and beyond. I've got other stories from that trip. If you enjoyed that one, I'd have to really dig them out. There is another story about absinthe that I'll have to tell you. It's not quite as extreme as that one, but it's quite funny. And I have got a couple of other stories from my wild youth, if you want to hear them. And we can use Street View to paint the picture for us, as I just did there. Hope you enjoyed that, folks, as much as I did, revisiting those crazy days. And yeah, wish me luck on my mission. I'll be back in one piece with Ben, don't you worry. And I'll try and get that edited as soon as possible, because if I do succeed, I'll want it to be known to the world, but I also won't want to ruin the surprise for you lot. So I think my plan is to edit that real quick, as quick as I can. Anyway, it'll probably still take a month, so I don't ruin the surprise for you. Anyway, I've rambled enough. Have a great week and weekend, and yeah, I'll let you know if I'm safe and sound upon my return. Take care.